Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through the best moments of episode 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's go. So as usual in today's video, it's going to be the best moments I thought was in the episode. It's going to be in no specific order. So let's get straight into it. Well, the first one I'm going to go through. So the episode pretty much starts off with a flashback that Vader's having of him and Anakin training. So we basically get to see Hayden Christensen's back as Anakin again, and it looks like it was meant to be during a period of just before Revenge of the Sith, and like they're just training with, they're like dueling with the lightsabers and they're fighting each other with the lightsabers. And I guess Obi-Wan is trying to teach Anakin to be less aggressive in his fighting, because his mind is not all together there when he's fighting, because he's just so angry. I mean, the warning signs were there really early on, the way he fights, man. Come on. But yeah, I think that was a really interesting scene. I think a lot of people, we've all been waiting to see Hayden Christensen back, and we finally, in this episode, we get to see Hayden Christensen back so many times, and it's so good to see again. And he doesn't look like he's aged a day since, you know, Attack of the Clones, man. This is crazy. But yeah, that was number 1 for me. Number 2 on the list. Basically, number 2 on the list, they have tracked down Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Empire, and they're outside of the Rebel base. And basically what's happened is the Rebel base have shut down everything so that the stormtroopers can't get in and Reva can't get in. So what happens is, to stall them for a bit, Obi-Wan suggests that he goes and talks to Reva, and he goes to the door, like he uses the force on the door so he can try to, you know, sense how she is feeling and stuff. And basically while he's talking to Reva through the door, he asks her how she knew that Vader was Anakin. And then he soon realizes that she was actually one of the younglings that was attacked by Anakin in the Revenge of the Sith. And she says to him, yes, I watched all my friends die and my family die, but somehow survived. And he soon realizes that she is not serving Vader. She says that this is the exact words that she says to him. She basically says that, you know, she doesn't want to serve him, she wants to kill him. And then she starts going on about, where was he? Why didn't he stop him? He was your Padawan, you know? And then basically Obi-Wan is trying to level with her, basically saying, you can't stop him by yourself. You need help. And she says, I don't need your help. I don't need anyone's help. In typical Reva fashion, overly confident. Later on in the episode, she's going to learn to live to regret that. So the next scene, and next big moment is, so basically what happens is she shoves her lightsaber through the blast doors when she's talking to Obi-Wan. He jumps out the way, and then basically they break into this base now, and basically it's just all stormtroopers shooting up the place, going crazy. And in the middle of all the shooting, Tala gets shot, and then her bot is like he's like towering over her and stuff, and trying to protect her from getting shot even furthermore. She's clearly dying now, and Obi-Wan's trying to like beat all these stormtroopers to get to her, and then she pulls out this bomb, and he's like, no, Tala! And then she shuts the blast doors and then lets the bomb off, and obviously all the stormtroopers are done for. And then it cuts to Obi-Wan on the other side of the blast doors now, and he clearly is a bit broken. Next good scene. Basically, Obi-Wan realizes that Vader is going to come down and there's no way they're going to stop him, and that Vader just wants him. So Obi-Wan decides that he's gonna surrender to Vader, and he gives his lightsaber and his communicator away and everything. And they're like, how are you gonna fight Vader without your lightsaber? And he's like, there's many other ways to fight than with just a weapon. When he gets outside, he's in cuffs now with the stormtroopers. Reva shows up, and basically she's like, oh, I'll be taking you to Vader soon. And he says to her, you're not bringing me to Vader, I'm bringing him to her. Bringing you to you, sorry. So he's basically saying to her, I'm gonna rat you out, love. And then after he says that, he basically starts proposing an alliance with Reva, saying that she needs his help, etc., if we work together. And she's like, oh, he will see that coming. And Obi-Wan's like, no, he will just see me. In the next favorite scene for me, basically Vader is on the ground now, and now he's getting to the Rebel base. He gets through the blast doors, and the Rebels are all in the ship now. They take off. Vader gets through the door. As they've taken off, Vader literally uses the most force I've ever seen in a Star Wars shot ever, and literally pulls this big giant ship back down onto the ground and literally rips the door off with the force. But then another smaller ship flies off, and then clearly the big ship was just a decoy because they knew Vader would pull it back down. But excluding the fact that they got away, it's just a crazy scene about how much control of the force force Vader really has, and I don't think we've ever seen him use that much before. It's amazing. But then as he's watching the ship fly away, and this is my next best moment, Reva tries to kill Vader. She tries to attack him from behind, and this is the most ridiculous scene I've ever seen in my life. Not because it's a badly choreographed scene or whatever, it's because of Reva. For this whole show, she has gone on like she is the be-all and end-all, and basically Vader just puts her in her place. So she's trying to attack him. He's not once pulled out his lightsaber, not once, and just trying to attack him, and he's just throwing her around with the force and everything. He's not even breaking a sweat. Then she pulls out her lightsaber, tries to do the spinning around technique, then has both ends lit up, and she's trying to use that, and then gets the lightsaber off her, snaps it in half, takes one off, and gives her one. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw you a bone. Let's have a duel. And then they're dueling and stuff, and then he gets her side off her, and then he just literally shoves the lightsaber in her, and you know, you'll assume that that's the end of her. But the best part of this scene is yet to come, you know? And then basically she's on the floor, clearly out of her depth, and then basically she starts seeing visions of him killing all of her youngling buddies when she was a youngling, and then he says to her, "You are no further use to me." But at that moment, I was literally in my head, I was like, yeah, she ain't gonna die. Even though if she survives, then we have to answer the question, why is Qui-Gon not alive? You know, then where's Mace Windu? You know, why does Obi-Wan die in A New Hope? Because they've all died the same way. How many people have died this way? But why would she come back? But then the doors open and stormtroopers walk through, and this is the biggest moment. Now, spoiler alert, well, this whole video is a spoiler alert anyway. The Grand Inquisitor is not dead. He walks through the door and he's like, says to her, I think it was, revenge. Revenge is something worth living for. And it's like, literally everyone, I think we all knew the Grand Inquisitor was not dead. There's such a big character in the animated Star Wars shows that they did. There was no way they were gonna just dispose of him that quickly, and they didn't. I'm so glad he is back. He's more of an interesting character than Reva is. So then basically it switches to the rebel ship, and Obi-Wan's on there, and he looks very distressed. And then Rogan says to him, like, the hyper drive on the ship is down. And Obi looks like, face looks traumatized. It's like something's wrong. And then Rogan's like to him, what? And he's like, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's nothing. And then basically the shot goes to Tatooine and then zooms in on Luke in bed sleeping and zooms in on him. And obviously this is because of the final best moment of the episode I'm about to reveal to you. So while Reva is supposedly dying, she finds the communicator that was dropped by the person that Obi-Wan gave it to, and it's slightly damaged, but she finds it, crawls through it, picks it up, and literally Senator Organa, and the message basically reveals that Luke and Leia are Anakin's kids. So now Reva knows about Luke and Leia, and that's why they shoot to Luke in the last shot, because that basically means the final episode of the show, we're gonna get the focus pushed back onto Luke. So I'm curious, how is this gonna work? We know by A New Hope, Vader does not know about Luke and Leia. He doesn't know Luke is his son until Empire Strikes Back. And he doesn't even know Leia is his daughter until Return of the Jedi. So we know that he's not gonna find out. But what happens? Is Reva gonna attack Luke? Is Reva gonna go and protect him? I'm curious about how this is gonna go. When I was watching this, I was saying Reva doesn't work as a villain, but as a hero, maybe just the actress isn't able to portray a villain in such a menacing way, but she might be able to portray a hero a bit better. I'm curious to see which direction they're gonna go, and I think that if they continue down the villain road, I don't think the spin-off for Reva works. If they continue down a hero road and she eventually ends up being a member of the rebellion, kind of in the same story, you know, from the Battlefront 2 storyline, you know, that, because you know, she was a stormtrooper, and then she ended up a member of the Rebel Alliance. So if they're going to go down that road for Reva, I think that could work. But the villain road, I just don't think it works for Reva's character. She just comes across kind of like a spoiled brat almost, you know? But hey, I guess you become very vengeful if you went through what she went through. Yeah, guys, that is all my best moments for episode 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I hope you enjoyed the episode. In my opinion, it's the best episode of the show so far. I don't know if it's going to be another season, but it's the best episode of the show so far, in my opinion. What did you guys think of the episode? Drop in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. I thought it was pretty decent. I think it's been a pretty good week for the Disney Plus shows. I think Ms. Marvel episode 2 was so much better than the first one. And I think this is miles better than the last episode of Obi-Wan. I mean, you could argue it couldn't get any worse, really, could it? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and share. And I will see you guys in my next video. Remember, live long and prosper. Take care.